Yes, these are part of the VC Artifact Percussion Marimba Mallets. If I do this. Actually, I don't know. Editing Isaac, does that sound good? And they do it at a very, very, very reasonable price. At the cost of, arguably the best thing about Artifact is the affordability of all their products. Hello everybody, my name is Isaac and welcome back to another episode of The Practice Room. Yes, the long-awaited hiatus of me after 4 months. This is the first video out of the 4 I'll be posting this month for 4 consecutive weeks. So hope you guys enjoy this new series, sort of, not really a series, but you know, these next 4 videos coming up, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. You might see some differences in my appearance. I'm wearing a different shirt than my usual videos. If you've seen the last video last Sunday, I was wearing my normal shirt, but I don't know, we're trying out this shirt for today. You might also see this microphone here. Yes, very fancy. I don't know, it has a nice, like, if I do this. Actually, I don't know. Editing Isaac, does that sound good? Anyways, you didn't come here to hear me talk about my gear or whatever, my shirt. You're here to talk about percussion content. And on today's agenda, we're talking about the best valued, arguably the best valued, mallets on the market today by Artifact Percussion.
Probably get the mallets. I don't know why I don't have the mallets with me.
And boom! Here they are. Yes, these are part of the VC Artifact Percussion Marimba Mallets. Just to give you guys some context of who Artifact Percussion are, Artifact Percussion is based off Pennsylvania by Aaron and Lexi. Founded in 2014, they create a multitude of percussion products from timpani mallets to xylophone mallets to bass drum beaters to other sorts of stuff, including marimba mallets. And today we get to review the VC Artifact Marimba Mallets by Artifact Percussion. And moving forward with all these other product reviews, mainly for percussion marimba mallets, we're gonna have sort of like a criteria list, starting with price, weight, balance, application, attack and feel, and the type of repertoire you would normally use when using these mallets in performance. But first, let's talk about the model lineup first. So the VC series comes in 5 different harnesses. They come in a harness of hard, medium soft, and soft. It's very similar to like the Adam Tan series that I reviewed. If you haven't checked out my Adam Tan review of his mallets, you can go check it out my channel down below or click up here. And what's really cool about this model lineup is that each of them have names. Like the hard mallet is called Quartus, and like the medium hard mallet is called Ignis. Very cool. I think these are Latin names, and well, they're kind of their mottos. Sic Parvis Magnum, which is like greatness from small beginnings. It's a Latin saying, so it's really cool. That's a really cool touch that they added. And each of them have some sort of kind of like highlight splash coloring on the mallet themselves. Like this one's the medium one, they have a different color, and this is Ignis right here. They have a little red color, and each of the harnesses will have that kind of accent pattern on the top, which is actually really cool. And especially if you have mallets in your mallet bag and you can look down on top of the heads, it's really nice to see just the harnesses based off the top of the crown of the head. So really cool design choice. So let's get into the criteria list on this mallet review. Let's first talk about the price, which is arguably the best thing about Artifact is the affordability of all their products. And I'm not just saying all their marimba mallets, I'm just saying also their vibraphone mallets, xylophone, timpani. All their products are actually, I think, in my opinion, really reasonable in terms of percussion gear. Like we look into like all these Vic Firth and the Van sizes, like they're going higher and higher in prices. It's almost like inflation affecting percussion equipment too. The prices of percussion products are increasing at an alarming rate. But what I found and what I really appreciated about Artifact Percussion, first of all, they're an independent brand, so really it's made by those 2 people, Aaron and Lexi, and they work really hard to make the best quality products possible for their customers, and they do it at a very, very, very reasonable price, at the cost of $38.95 for one pair of the VC mallets, and that goes for the whole model lineup. They are all costing the same. You can also get a bundle pack, which is, I think, the same thing. And they also have a choice for a grad set. So if you don't want to grab like 6 pairs of mallets to have like, oh, you want like medium, and hard, you can just get a grad set, which is a group of 4. So if you only want 2 mediums, a medium hard, and a medium soft, you can do that and get a grad set from them. Granted, it will cost the same as buying 2 pairs of mallets, but it will be nice to have that kind of grad set series. So in terms of price, they're very well done. Moving on to the weight category. So this is based off my experience of having and playing with lots of Marimba mallets. I categorize them as heavy, medium, medium light, and light. So for this VC series, I would categorize them as more medium mallets, leaning more towards medium heavy. You can definitely feel the core is a lot heavier than some other mallets by like Innovative Percussion or Big Perth, but I think it has a good balance, and the weight actually does help with lots of projection, which I'll get into a little bit later, but definitely has a heavier side to the mallet. Not necessarily too heavy, but it's not necessarily medium either, so medium heavy at best. And what I really appreciate about these types of mallets is that the weight stays consistent throughout all the hardnesses. So it doesn't matter if you have the very soft mallet to the hard mallet, it's still gonna weigh and feel exactly the same. Granted, maybe the head's gonna be just slightly different, but the weight at least is the same. All right, moving on to the balance category. Now, what I mean by balance is that we like to, as I guess marimba players, categorize mallets in like sort of like a 50-50 scale, where a Van Sice, the dual tonal series, would be a 50-50 mallet, in my opinion, because throughout the mallet it feels the same, like feels the weight same from the head of the mallet all the way to the butt end. So I would categorize this mallet as more maybe like a 65 to 35 scale, 65 on the head and then 35 to the butt end. It's definitely not the heaviest mallet I've held, but it's definitely not a 50-50 mallet. It definitely has some more weight to it and more body to it, which is great for production. So if you're wanting to have a lot more production, especially in a bigger ensemble, this is a great mallet choice. Moving on to application. So application, I would consider, is what we use it for. So mainly maybe solo rep or chamber rep or large ensemble or marching band. Like, what would you use these mallets for? In my experience, these mallets work really well in percussion ensemble. I've used these numerous times in percussion ensemble. They sound amazing, especially if you need projection in the ensemble. Let's say you need someone on the marimba 1 part and they just need to project their part a lot more on the treble end. These are some great mallets. Or even if you need like a marimba 4 part on like the bass end of a 5 octave, just grab some of the soft ones. I don't have any soft ones. But you can grab some of the soft ones and just go ham on and it would sound really good. So in terms of chamber music, such as percussion ensemble or trios or duets, I think these are great. I think for large ensemble, they still hold up really well, especially with this sort of yarn and the heaviness and the weightiness of the head and the core. I think it works really great for those types of application. In terms of solo repertoire, I wouldn't use them as much for solo works just because of the feel, and I think there's just better solo mallets out there for different purposes, but that's just personal preference for me. Next on our list is attack and feel. Now, when I play with these in my ensembles, I feel like I can rely on these on the attack and the articulation. It's very clear and very articulate when it needs to be. Oh, that's actually pretty loud. I don't know if maybe the mic blew up if I did that. So it definitely has a good attack to it, has lots of clarity and articulation, especially with the harder mallets, and it does have a nice feel when you go to the lower end with the softer mallets. I think in terms of feel overall, especially this is a different type of wood. This is not really birch. I think it's maple, which is usually you find maple on like SD ones by Big Perth. The SD ones are, you know, good with maple, but with this it's a little bit different feel from birch. I personally like the feel. I like the finish and the feel of the shaft is very nice. It does give me a different sense of touch and color when I actually hit the marimba with the mallet. It does feel a little bit different, but it's not too much from the reliability of birch. And I do actually like this engraving that they have, but with this birch kind of thing. It's like so cool how they engraved it. And last but not least, we have the type of repertoire I would use it for. Like I said, I would mainly use these for percussion ensemble or large ensemble. So if you need some like Alfred Reed part, the hard mallets are great for that. If you need some Mas Lanka, if you're playing Mas Lanka like marimba parts, these are really great for that too. If you're playing some percussion ensemble pieces like Jim Casella, or maybe even Casey Cangelosi, maybe like electronic stuff, solo stuff, that works as well too. I think it's a very clear, articulate, clean mallet to use in really any general purpose setting. Ooh, okay, that's a lot of talking. Let's get into the actual sound test that really everyone came here to see. Unfortunately, I only have the medium soft, medium, and the medium hard. I do not have the extremities, which is the hard and the soft. So I'm going to do my best to represent and showcase the diversity of colors and dynamics you can get out of these mallets. But just know that there's a bigger spectrum than what I'm about to present to you guys. All right, ignore all this mess here. I am working on the studio right now. practice more for the sound test, but there you go. All right, that was the sound test. What do you think of these mallets, guys? Do they sound really good? Do they feel really good? Oh, actually, you guys can't really feel. I think my last comments with these mallets is that these are, I think, really underrated in the percussion market, especially today when literally band statuses are literally like $55 per pair, and it's really crazy how these mallets are raising in prices, especially in Vic Firth and Innovative Percussion, the mainstream percussion brands out there. And then we see all these independent brands getting just flushed out by those bigger brands. And I just see that they make such quality mallets for such a reasonable price too. So really shout out to Artifact Percussion and Aaron, Lexi. Congratulations on everything that you've accomplished over these, what is it? Oh dear, 12 years. I was gonna say 22 years. I can't do math. Ever since 2014. So congratulations on so much. You guys have really changed the percussion market, and I really love these mallets. And finally, it is time for the overall mallet review, which I just give it a score out of 10, and you guys either hate me or love me for that. Yeah, I really wanted to give an overall rating for Marimba Mallets in general, just to see like my opinion about it. And of course, these are really subjective opinions, but you know, I really want to give you guys just the really in-depth scoop of these mallets and other products. So if you have a mallet in mind that you want me to review next on the channel, please let me know down in the comments down below. With that being said, my final rating for the Artifact Percussion VC mallets, Marimba mallets, is an 8.3 out of 10. Congratulations, Artifact Percussion. Well done on so much, and can't wait to see you guys bring out new products with reasonable prices. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week for video 2 of me posting for 4 weeks straight. See you guys. Bye-bye.